I like the sound of my voice, and that I shouldn't make a long introduction, because I could talk about this for days. I suppose that is some kind of narcissistic disorders, I don't know. So they asked me for deep insights, and then remove the depth of 30 slides gone. So thank you and bye-bye. That's it. Okay, I'm kidding. I will proceed with my presentation. Please don't leave me alone. I have enough stress with cutting my slides from presentation, and after this presentation we'll have some kind of showroom on other side. Actually, you can see how, let's say, lie detector looks like in practice. So we will find some volunteers from you, and I will ask him or her a few questions. But it not be like in serious. I don't know who watched Dear John. I will not ask you, do you have any sexual problems? That's just regular questions. Okay. So thank you. Again, my name is Dario. I'm holding PhD in behavioral psychology, and yes, I'm co-owner of the project firm of 4 psychologists and 1 engineer. Where is he? Someone in back. Okay. How we work? We begin with anonymous user surveys, focused on products or service or quality. This response provides to us behavioral insights and reveal deeper layers of user motivation and expectation. And today is motivation the most bigger and most important things in the world. This is followed by neuroscience phase, conduct on small focus group up to 10 or 12 participants. Using tools such as face readers, you can see this in room behind this, and eye tracking, we explore emotional responses and subconscious decision making patterns with neuromarketing framework. Okay. I'm missing mouse. Okay. Nudging, priming. Okay, we still use them and we will talk about them there, but traditional behavior concepts like nudging, priming, and loss aversion are no longer enough to understand complex users' decision in customer experience. Today, we need tools like, I don't know, face reader that can measure how the user really feel. And that's important. You're now listening about emotional intelligence, and on this presentation, you learn that feeling is everything in our life, in business, etc. So so you need to what user really feel in real time and below the level of conscious awareness. This slide explains what face reader does. It doesn't ask user what they think. It shows what they really feel. It detects emotions like fear, surprise, and frustration by reading facial expression in real time, which help understand how users react to websites, to surveys, to videos, or onboarding process or something like that. This case shows how small visual change, like adding human face, can make a big emotional difference. Version B created engagement and less frustration, and the strongest effect came from direct eye contact in image. And as you can see, this right image has larger pupils. Do you know why? Because of characters in Disney movies. We like to see cute faces. And big eyes actually do this. This next, let's say, provocative slide is a little blurred, so it's okay. We use eye tracking to see where people look in photo. Yes, a little funny, okay. One question they have asked is whether men and women looked at other people in the same way. The eye tracking heat maps show that both men and women spend time looking at the head, but men looked at crotch. This isn't necessarily sign of sexual intention or something like that. That could be sizing up the competition or identifying with him. I don't know. For this, we need behavioral insights. Next slide. Men check other men, especially their assets, and that's okay. Women check out his wedding ring, as you can see, woman, and all focus is on left hand. Usually, this place for a wedding ring. Guys don't seem to care about woman's marital status, but look at her face, breast, and stomach. If you ask people to self-report where they looked, they tend not to be very honest, or they're just not consciously aware what they actually look. Okay, and that's why we need something like that. I usually like to say, if you don't train our own brain, someone else will do. And you will later see why is that so important. Next, my words is a human is being shaped by experience and environment. All of us has in this room pretty much same IQ, but our experience, our environment is different, and that's why we actually do different job and everything else different. Next, we asked a lot from the world, and now we need to give a lot back to it. And that is why we are here, because of customer and user experience. Next thing, what bothering us is our interpretation, attention, and memory. Do you know who is it? Who is she? Adele, yes. And now she looks okay, right? But here, not much. So, interpretation. Our brain constantly making sense of the world through interpretation. Attention filters what enters our consciousness in a world of overstimulation. And we all here can agree that today's world is overstimulated, even in this room. Memory is not storage room, but reconstruction process. And that is how we all work out. Most people would say these two rings are distorted. Maybe they are bending or twisted or somehow. But in fact, they are perfect circle, equal in shape and size. This simple visual illusion perfectly illustrates how our brain works, not as camera, but as interpreter. Memory. Do you know which is right? Anybody? Okay, I will help you. What's the problem? You've seen this logo every day, as much as possible, and you don't even know how it actually looks like. Why do you expect from your customers? Next, used every day, Google Chrome, which is right. Second, yes. Obviously use Chrome, not Internet Explorer or something like that. Our brain hates gaps, not just dislike, it can stand them. A gap in knowledge equals uncertainty, and uncertainty is from our evolutionary standpoint, potential threat. Back when we didn't know what was hiding in the bushes, assuming it was lion was safer to overanalyze it. So those who jumped to conclusion faster survived more often. So so that's why the brain evolved to spot patterns quickly, build narrative even faster, and draw conclusion faster, even when data is missing or wrong. And this part, even data is missing or wrong, is especially dangerous. Why? Because we all our gaps founding with information, and that information not necessarily are correct. They are only logical to us. And what we have now, what is logical, it's not necessarily the truth. And that's how we work. Everything is logical. But is it truth? We don't know. We need to Google, we need to find information, etc. So, attention, we focus on certain aspect of scene and ignore others. And that's important when we are talking about user experience. As I said, memory, even our memory of what we've seen is biased. And all of us is full of bias. In business, leadership, customer experience, or even in daily conversation, it's not just about what is true, but about how our minds process and remember truth. That's the most important thing. Why this matter in sales? Customer don't experience reality. They experience a version of it filtered through attention, interpreted by expectation, and remembered by imperfectly. What they focus on defines their judgment. Memory shapes loyalty. Everybody in this room expects loyalty from our customers, but memory shapes loyalty, and tiny distortion create major consequences. The issue is not just with AI, definitely. Everything is growing exponentially. Knowledge is now on demand. We all have phones that are cognitively very close to us. And we actually don't know when we use phone, when we use our knowledge. Everything today we are Googling or chatting or whatever. There is no longer need to store knowledge in long-term memory. And that is especially very dangerous for Gen Z today. And they are developed many consequences because their brain is empty. This shift fundamentally changing how decisions are made in digital age. Yes, that's true, unfortunately. How the world is slowing changing. You can see the driver license, tried alcohol, ever date, work for pay, decreasing. Sex is on decline, or more politically and statistically correct, sexual activity is decreasing across population, unfortunately. Effects of too much choice. Too many choice create analysis of paralysis or tyranny of choice. When person is offered too many options, and often is case on social media and digital platform, decision-making process can become stressful. And that is possible, and that is especially important when our brain is empty. We have psychometric assessments in our company, and we are especially oriented to Gen Z. And through our investigation, we find that decision-making in Croatia is something which does not exist. All have critical opinion, but it's not based on knowledge. We are all against something, but that is not based on knowledge. So in Croatia, because we are related to Croatian population, decision making as cognitive possibility does not exist. Next thing was the result, complete lack of curiosity. Just look what CX says. Procents is strongly increased and depends on how much time users spend using their phones. More time on phones, more people lack of curiosity. The speed dashboard and metrics, many decisions in CX still rely on what feels right. CX teams often optimize journey based on what they feel would work, not what users truly experience. Is it possible that today CX is just structured gut feeling? You know what is gut feeling? Is it possible that customer experience is just structured gut feeling? Let's be honest, even with all dashboards, heat maps, MPS, charts, or whatever, funnel data, how many actual decisions are based on data? And how many are made based on someone saying they're just feeling better? We often see CX teams adjusting flows, I don't know, redesign buttons or rewriting copy based on, I don't know, assumption, not on what user actually do or feel. So there is the provocation. In modern CX just highly structured form of a gut feeling. Unfortunately, the day of Google Analytics is finished. Of course, we all will use Google Analytics in the future, but we need much more that is Google Analytics. Motivation. No motivation, no engagement. And it is that simple. Muscle meets CX, motivation shapes the journey. CX is not just about feature, it's about psychological needs. Every user action reflects underlying motivation tied to deeper need. This is Maslow hierarchy of needs, and we all move one step forward, but we need to meet basic needs, and then we are step up here, up. So I need water, sleep, food, etc. When I had water, sleep, etc., I need security of body, health, I need some place to live, etc. After that, I need love and belonging, I need friends, I don't know, family, etc. After that, I need a cigarette. I'm kidding. Then I need some confidence, respect, status, and at the least, I can sleep well. I'm actually happy man. And this pyramid we can use in customer experience, so safety, can I trust this, is my data, money safe, banking, insurance, privacy, focused platforms. What I want to say, you must to meet psychological need, which depends in what industry you are. Okay, it's not same, I don't know, for safety is maybe it's not important for a food company or whatever. Belonging, will I feel seen, included, connected? Social media, communities, collaborative tools. Belonging, feel esteem, how does this reflect on me? LinkedIn, achievement system, premium brands, self-actualization. Does this help me grow or create? Some learning platforms, LMS, etc. Creative tools, mission drive bands. What we are offering and how the user is, we must address the underlying psychological needs behind their behavior. This may sound surprising, but it's true. People don't always know why they like something or dislike. They can't always explain why something feels wrong, but they feel it immediately. That's because user experience it isn't only about what people do, it's about what people feel during the interaction. a confusing form, I don't know, slow loading button or aggressive tone, all these trigger emotional reaction before user even think about them. So if your product does not feel right emotionally, user will walk away, even if everything technically works. What we call gut feeling is CX is rely on shortcut for something deeper, the invisible emotional layer of experience. UX is shaped unconscious perception and expectation. People don't just report to future, they respond to how this future make them feel or make them happy, angry, or whatever. Brands aren't judged on by what they offer, but the emotion what they create. That's why so many successful brands designed for feeling, not just function. Before this presentation, we talk about BMW and I don't know, Apple, etc. Then they don't need to use advertising. Why? Because they are brands which creates emotion. They only I don't know, a few times in a year just say to us hello. Why? Because all emotion is tied to these brands. Why company ignore user gut feeling? Because data-centric culture survives often fail to capture emotion and intuition. I'm pretty sure that none of your survives don't capture emotion and intuition. Organization design are designed for logic, but user respond with emotion. Deep psychology of user behavior, I'll skip cognitive shortcuts, but it's important to understand your product is not experienced rationally, but emotionally and intuitively. Today I saw real life nudge in men's urinal. There are tiny image of fly, and yes, I'm aimed at it. Oh, I'm sorry. A brilliant, simple example of behavioral design. Don't instruct, just guide. You can see this here in men's room. So next thing what we have is nudge. Nudge is small change in how options are presented, designed to guide behavior without restricted freedom of choice. You are not forcing anyone to anything. You are simply making the better choice easier, clearer, or more attractive. In sales, nudging is powerful because it works with how people already think and decide. You are shaping their context, not their intention. That's the difference between nudge and manipulation, and this is some provocative image. Nudges in type of nudges, we have default nudge, pre-selected options, salience nudge, making one option stand out visually or cognitively, social proof nudge, showing what others do, or affective nudge using emotional language or framing to drive choice of our user. Let's look a real example from customer experience. A checkout from that has the newsletter box already checked. That's default nudge. Highlight the most popular pricing plan. That's the salience. A message like, I don't know, only two left. That's urgency framed with emotional weight. Even button color and placement can act as nudge. There are subtle tools, but they often outperform big campaigns. Why? Because one size fits all nudging is going out of style. Smart CX means adapting nudge to user types. User loss aversion for, I don't know, risk-averse users use novelty cues for explorers. If you can detect emotion or engagement level in real time, like, I don't know, through face reader or something like that, eye tracker, you can tailor nudges even more precisely. This is where nudging meets personalization. And also we talk before this presentation about hyper-targeting. Okay, hyper-targeting is good when we want to achieve awareness, but what we need to use today is hyper-personalization. All of us want hyper-personalization. Attention is today missing resource. The average attention span is shrinking and it's below 8 seconds, like a fish. User filter thousands of stimuli per minute, where standout wins. Attention is the new currency of digital experience. It's psychological trick where generic statements, your brain, when the brain decides to care, user respond emotionally when content is relevant, self-related and surprising. Personalization must feel authentic, not algorithmic. Empathy beats targeting. That's why everyone on LinkedIn seems to be using the Barnum effect. Generic enough to sound profound, personal enough to feel like it was written just for you, like horoscope. But if they resonate with everyone, it must be true, right? And that is how we can't function. So it's psychological trick where generic statements feel deeply personal because our brain are eager to find meaning and patterns. Next thing what we have, decision fatigue. Too many options reduce user satisfaction and lead to choice paralysis, even when simplicity, not complicity. Fewer clear choices improve experience and, of course, conversion. So, I mentioned on beginning of my presentation that on the beginning we use quantitative research. So, quantitative research quantitative research like A/B testing, heat maps, click streams, then don't explain why, just what. So we know that men's look in scrotch, but don't know why. Okay, that's the important. Best practice, qualitative. Next thing what we use with quantitative research, we use qualitative. Why user react to these eye tracker, face readers, interviews. They capture attention, emotion, cognition, context, reveal motivation, friction, and emotional moments. Best practice, combining methods, quantitative, what happens, qualitative, why it happens. Final call to action. Today people don't experience CX rationally, they process it through attention, emotion, and expectation. That's why CX isn't about what users do, but why they do it. Numbers reveal behavior, but only psychologically explains motivation. Combining quantitative and qualitative methods is key to understand the full user journey. The future of CX isn't in more data, it is in measurable feeling. We are designed for perception, not just for function. And actually we can measure feeling. What next? Map emotional journey, not just touch point. Combine qualitative and quantitative insight. Use face reader, eye tracking, and micro expression tools to test CX. Most important, train teams to design for feeling, not just for function. And the future of CX is not in data, it's in feeling. And feeling is measurable, and we can measure feelings. Thank you.